How's it going, motherfuckers? I'm really on Megas at the minute, just because I have so many feelings about them, so many opinions. So we're just going to go through them. And what I've realized is that majorly, sort of like in the majority, Megas will fall into three categories. They are either hilarious, majestic, or terrifying. So we are going to go through every Mega. I hope this is every. I'm missing either one or two at max, but hopefully this is all of them. We're going to go through every Mega, and we are going to place them on this list where we feel it is most appropriate. So if they're just hilarious, they go up here. If they're just terrifying, just majestic. If they're both hilarious and majestic, they go here. And if they are all three in any direction, so let's say they're mostly scary and funny, but there is some majesty there, they would go like here. So it's going to be really interesting to see where they show up on the list, just because I haven't really given it much thought. So we're just going to go in random orders. So I'm going to just scroll through my list here, and bam, we will start with Mega Meganium. So Meganium is not terrifying. This is obvious. I've also just realized that the triangle and the words are above every other layer. So I'm quickly going to move that while we discuss what's going on with Meganium here. So Meganium, I would argue, is mostly on the majestic side. I think Meganium is a lot of majesty, you know, lots of nice sort of bright colours, but then it's also got a lot of sort of like frilliness, and I think the frilliness really sort of adds there. So I think it's mostly majestic. However, I can't deny it is also kind of funny. So we are going to put Mega Meganium specifically. Bear me 2 seconds. We are going to put Mega Meganium. Where's Meganium? There it is. We're going to put Mega Meganium, I'd say, about sort of here. It is funny, but it is mostly majestic, and there's absolutely zero terrifyingness in it. Next, we are going to do Mega Metagross. Now, Mega Metagross, I don't think it's very hilarious, and I don't think it's very majestic. I'm going to put it right here. So this isn't on the corner. This would be the corner. It's going to go here, because while it's not majestic, it does have a sort of cleanness to its design that makes it look a bit, not godly, but like powerful without being funny, if that makes any sense to anyone. Next, Mega Abomasnow. Mega Abomasnow is, I'm not going to say equal parts hilarious and terrifying, but I'm going to say it's a lot funnier than Meganium is. I think it just looks odd. It's like a fucking giant circle with hands. But it is still terrifying if you think about it. If you think about the Abominable Snowman, that's a scary fuck. And you know what? I'd say honestly, there's a little bit of majesty in there. It is a funny looking dude, but it can be sort of fun to look at. Mega Heatran. I'm gonna say Mega Heatran is the perfect between that's fucking hilarious and that is actually terrifying. It's the gaping maw, I think, that makes it very scary. But if you look at it, it's a big ass frog. That's hilarious. So I think it's probably like the best example. Mega Salamence is next. I'd say it's mostly terrifying, but it is also quite funny. But I'd also say there is some majesty there. I think the moon shape makes it quite majestic. So we're going to say some hilariousness, some majesty, but mostly it's in the terrifying category there. Meganium's looking pretty lonely right now. We need to get some other ones in there, but I am doing it sort of at random. I'm just picking from my list. Mega Pyro. I'm going to put Mega Pyro here. I'm going to put Mega Pyro here. It's mostly hilarious. It looks ridiculous. But it is still somewhat terrifying. That is quite a large mane. And I think the fact that it is hair, like so well kept and so amazingly placed, that yeah, I'd say that's quite majestic. I'd say it's majestic, even though it is ridiculous. Don't mistake me putting it anywhere in majestic as me liking that Pokemon or thinking it looks great. It's just what it is. Mega Emboar. Mega Embor, I'd say there's no hilarity here. Mega Embor is fucking great. But it has some majesty to it. You know, it is sort of emperor-ish. So you know what? I'm going to say mostly terrifying, but there's some majesty there. I'm happy to put it there. Mega Scovillain. Somewhat terrifying, but mostly it's just funny. It's got a fucking tie. It's got a pepper tie. That's hilarious. Mega Heracross. I'm going to say Mega Heracross is... Ooh, by the way, these are going to overlap. There's just so many. I can't make them all fit and have them be recognizable somewhat. Mega Heracross, it would be terrifying, but its eyes, it still looks so innocent. But it's kind of hilarious. It's kind of majestic. I'm going to put it here. It is mostly terrifying, but the eyes and the big old horn make it kind of funny. And it does look sort of like Embor. It's got some sort of manner of royalness to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making shit up. Mega Scolipede. No, the majestic... See, I think the poisonous colours look really cool, but I don't think that adds to majesty. So I'm going to say that Mega Scolipede is just terrifying. If they go on the corner, it doesn't mean that they're the scariest. It just means that they only have scary qualities. So, like, you know, if it had any level of hilarity or majesty, it would be somewhere along here. But it is just terrifying. It's not the scariest Pokemon, but it is only terrifying. Mega Feraligatr. I love Feraligatr, but it does look fucking ridiculous. I think it's great. I like it. I love Mega Feraligatr. Maybe I'm biased just because I like regular Feraligatr and it was my starter of choice. But I love Mega Feraligatr. But it is ridiculous. Like, regular Feraligatr would be like here. Mega Feraligatr is not. Ooh, next. Mega Delphox. That's gotta be more on the majesty side, right? Like, it's got some sort of scariness to it. But it's a lot of just looking really sort of cool. And, like... I don't know how best to describe majesty. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's like the fashion of it is really an important piece. So, like, you know, you don't look at Heracross and go, oh yeah, but he looks so clean. That's what makes him a good Mega. It's not. But what helps these two here is that they have such clean designs and don't fall into the other categories very much. But I'd say Mega Delphox does have some sort of fear factor there. Mega Gallade. Right in the middle. That is... No, you know what? He's more majesty than scary. I don't think it's 50-50. I'd say it's more like 75-25. So he is going to go there. There is no hilarity. Actually, it's a little funny because he looks like Yu-Gi-Oh! That's it. Mega Sableye. I'd say like here. I'd say he's pretty close to all of them, to be fair. Mostly it's funny because Sableye's a little goblin guy. But it is terrifying because he is a scary fucker to look at, I'll give him that. But the giant gem and the giant ruby eyes really quite sort of, they give you a powerful feeling. So I'm going to say Sableye is almost dead center, but he is mostly a funny fuck. So there you go. Mega Darkrai. Mega Darkrai is also pretty fucking 50-50. There is some hilariousness to the fact that he looks like an eye, and I'm gonna split the terrifying and majestic. You know what? I'm gonna put more terrifying, but he is still kind of majestic. I can't lie. Right. Mega Chimecho. I'd say Mega Chimecho is mostly funny, but definitely is a very clean design and owes some of its sort of popularity to the majesty it carries. Mega Sizzle. I'd say, does it have any hilariousness to it? Not really. Oh, it's kind of like Mr. Krabs. Okay, we'll put him here. He's kind of Mr. Krabs-ish. There's no majesty there, but it's mostly terrifying. Mega Gyarados. Again, mostly terrifying, but he is kind of funny to look at. They got rid of his neck. So Gyarados is going to go there. Ooh, Mega Pinsir. There is no fucking other sort of way of explaining it other than he is goddamn terrifying. I'm quickly going to move these layers down because they are annoying me. Next, we're going to go for, I think, Mega Sharpedo. Just because... God, this is a long list. Mega Sharpedo is, I'd say, one of the more fucked up Megas, just because of obviously his Dex entries, but also I'm kind of biased there. Where the fuck is Sharpedo on my list? There he is. Mega Sharpedo. It's mostly terrifying, but I'll give him a little funny because his head got really sort of long. Let me find who's next. Okay, so I think we'll do Mega Zygarde. Why not? Let's pull him out of the pile. Mega Zygarde might be the most well-rounded of all of them. I'm going to put him in the center. I'm going to put Mega Zygarde in the center. There's some sort of ironic sort of like full circleness to that, but Mega Zygarde is terrifying. He's carrying a nuke on his back. However, it's really funny because he's carrying a nuke on his back. But I will say the godly sort of floating human-like spirit being, that's fucking majestic. So we're going to sort of 50-50 that. Was a 33, but who cares? Frostlass, I think that's the most... no, because of the height. I think the height makes it terrifying as well. I think Frostlass is the most scarily majestic of them all. I think that would be a sort of a good thing to say. Mega Skarmory. Now, Skarmory is objectively hilarious. It's still terrifying, but it does look like Zapdos. And its feet are enormous. So I'm going to put him there. He's not as funny as Gyarados, but he's still funnier than like Scizor and Heracross and Salamence. Right. Ooh, Mega Chestnut. Mega Chestnut is mostly terrifying, but there's some sort of feeling there. I'm going to put him right next to Emboar. Starter Mega Buddies. I hope this sort of, you just get where we're going with this at this point. This is going to be quite a bit as well, because, you know, there's a lot of Megas. Mega Camerupt. I'd say he's scarier than Feraligatr, because he's got the fucking volcano on his back. No, he's scarier than Scovillain, right? No, the skirt's ridiculous. It's going to go right next to Scovillain. Not quite as scary, and a little bit funnier, but it's still scary to fucking think about. Mega Meowstic. I think it is mostly sort of quite a majestic sort of thing. It's very clean, very sort of bright, heavenly colours, like a Binding of Isaac character. But there is some sort of uncanniness to it. Like some, you know, when people like fear the idea of like not being able to understand what they're seeing, you know, like angels and stuff. I feel like that's what Meowstic would be like. So I think it's got some fear factor there. Definitely more than Delphox, but a little less than Gallade. Mega Manectric. It's more scary than Scovillain because it's still Manectric, but it is quite funny. I don't think it's as scary. The raw fear that Heatran possesses, or generates, sorry, I don't think it's quite the same. Mega Gardevoir. Don't be ridiculous. It's the majestic Pokemon. I think it probably is one of the most majestic Pokemon to think about, really. So, yeah, I don't know. Not really much to go off there, but it is what it is. Mega Houndoom. It's mostly terrifying, but I gotta say there is probably some majesty there, but it's a little funny. It's gonna go right here behind Heracross, so it's not on the line. There is some sort of like ethereal, because it's like demonic, you know, it's like the opposite of heavenly. You can still be majestic and be demonic. Just ask Absol Z. Already did Mega Gyarados. Mega Kangaskhan. That's just funny. It's a little scary, but it's mostly funny. Mega Starmie. I think Mega Starmie's got to go right next to Heatran. So it's going to go off the line a little bit, but that's just because they're sharing. It is one of the funniest Mega Evolutions ever. However, it is fucking terrifying, so I gotta give it that. It's scary as fuck. Mega Pidgeot. Mega Pidgeot is, I'd say it's a lot of majesty. It's because it's normal type, and it is very normal. Like, it is just a bird, but it is still scary. I'm gonna put it here. I'm going to put it right next to Delphox. I think they get along sort of quite well. With the flowing sort of hair, I think they are sort of quite similar. Okay, next we're going to do Mega Raichu X and Y. So, Mega Raichu X, it's a little scary, but it's mostly funny to look at, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, that's just what I think about it. Mega Raichu Y, I'd say same thing, but replace the scary with majestic. Majestic also can be sort of just like a filling in word for like cute. So if it's got nowhere to go, if it's just cute, it's not funny to look at, it's not terrifying. If it's just cute, majestic can be the sort of stand-in there. Right, Mega Gengar. I'd say it only has terrifying qualities. I don't think it's really funny. So I'd say it has only terrifying qualities, really. Mega Victory Bell. It's a little scary, but it's mostly funny as fuck. I love it, man. I fucking love it. Mega Venusaur. I'm going to put him next to Metagross. You know, there's not really much to indicate, like, oh, well, he looks heavenly, or he looks majestic. But I'd say the terrifying mostly, because he's huge. But he is very like symmetrical, and plant life can be majestic. Don't hate on it. Mega Beedrill, just in this corner by himself, because he's not hilarious and he's not majestic. That is just fucking terrifying. Mega Blastoise, objectively not that scary, but it is quite funny to look at. Let's do these two next. Mega Mewtwo X. It's a little funny, but it is mostly scary to look at. Mega Mewtwo Y. Where the fuck's he? I'd say it doesn't look that scary. It doesn't look that scary, but it is also quite sort of. Is it because it's clean? Because it doesn't look. You know, the sort of like. The not very loud angry people. You know, there's a sort of the level of calmness that someone produces can be quite sort of ethereal and sort of calming, but also terrifying. So I think it's sort of that midpoint where, you know, much like Mega Frostlass, it is majestic. However, in context, you know, very tall, flowing parts, but some sharp horns. It's terrifying. I think Mewtwo Y is like kinda close to that. Kinda. Mega Absol Z. I think Mega Absol Z is also right there with Mega Frostlass. That's majestic, but it is terrifying. Regular Mega Absol. Not really that. You know, I'd say it's about as terrifying as Gallade. Yeah. I'll say they're about the same, but it is a lot of sort of like heavenly, holy shit going on there. Mega Blaziken. You know, I'm going to put him with Venusaur. It's the same sort of level. You know, there's nothing outwardly sort of majestic about it, but it's just like the flowingness of it, the cleanness. It might be the humanoid nature. There's a lot of sort of humanoids down here, so maybe that's what makes them less terrifying. But also less hilarious, is that they just look like people. Mega Medicham. That's mostly hilarious, but I'll give the little hand things some credit. They are sort of quite sort of like flowing. If you've got anything on you that flows, like hair, or a gown, or wings, or a cape, or fucking frilly ankle tassels, then you're probably going to be majestic to me. Mega Staraptor. It is terrifying, the eyes are terrifying, but it is kind of funny as well. It kind of just Talonflame. Mega Steelix. I think Mega Steelix, yeah, it's scary. I think Mega Steelix is actually on this side of Frostlass. I'd say it's more sort of like awe-inspiring, like, you know, when you see the crystals flowing around it, the fact that the crystals reflect sort of light inside its body, I think that's sort of like, you know, like, whoa, that's crazy. It's not that scary though, it's still got a shovel for a face, so you know. Right, Mega Slowbro. Funniest dude, I mean, I can't argue with that one. Mega Altaria. It is hilarious. I think it's quite funny to look at. You know, it's just a giant cloud, but I guess that's the whole point, you know, and it is still obviously quite well, fairy-esque. You know, there's probably going to be a lot of fairies up here. Fairy type, fairy type, fairy type. Is Meowstic fairy or just psychic? I can't remember. Fairy type. There's a lot of fairies over here. I get really dangerously close to saying furry. Mega Swampert. I mean, it is hilarious, but that is also fucking terrifying. It's not exactly 50-50 like Heatran. It is kind of like mid, like I'd say like 45-55. But yeah, it is very funny. Mega Lopunny. Is it majestic though, or is it just funny? Okay, I'm going to say mostly funny, but there is some fear factor there, and there is some sort of like... There's something about the design that labels majestic. I'll let you figure that out. Mega Golurk. I don't think there's anything really hilarious about it, but it is mostly terrifying. But it's also very clean, you know? I think that'll have to go there. It makes the most sense, right? Mega Ordino. There's literally nothing about it that screams anything but majestic, so it's going right next to Gardevoir. Mega Diancie. It's mostly majestic, but it is also a big chandelier, and that's very funny. Mega Barbaracle. I think Mega Barbaracle's gotta go with... is it more scary? Okay, because of the eyes, I'm gonna say it's terrifying over majestic. But it is quite, because of, like, you know, the synchronicity of it, the sort of parallel nature of it down the middle, I'd argue that it is quite sort of, you know, if it descended in front of you, you'd be terrified, but you'd also be like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Or I'm chatting shit and nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. Mega Dragalge. Outwardly, not very scary, but there is some fear there, obviously, based on the context, but it is a lot of, like, oh, that's awesome. Mega Hawlucha. I'm saying he's going with Sableye, you know? He's mostly on the funny side, but there's definitely fear factor there. But he is also, like, really, I think, in probably the wings and the mask, I think the colours they chose really make it sort of, well, majestic. Malamar. It's terrifying, but also it's Megamind. It's mostly hilarious. It's mostly hilarious, I say. My manly voice. Who's next? Mega Chandelure. I think Mega Chandelure has to go just above Zygarde. It's going to go here. It's going to go here next to Zygarde. So it's still funny, you know, it's still just a chandelier. But chandeliers, I mean, they are sort of signs of, I think, is it class? Is it just having money? I don't know. But the point is, they are literally designed to look majestic. So, I mean, it only makes sense. So it is still funny, it is still majestic, but it is still terrifying. I will give it that. Mega Electros. The teeth make it scary, but it's mostly fucking funny. Yeah, I'm going to put him with... He's going to go with Mega Feraligatr. It is funny. Like, it's really funny. It looks like it's got commands. But ultimately, there is some sort of like... Ooh, that's scary. Mega Excadrill. There's something about the fact that it can bring itself together that makes it quite sort of like... you know, all is one, all is whole, sort of like majestic. But it is also hilarious. It's objectively funny as fuck to look at. But it is terrifying. I think it falls into that weird uncanny valley with these two. So it's lined up with these two on the line there, but it's got something going on that changes it up, I think. Right. Who is next? Mega Scrafty. I think Mega Scrafty's got to go here. It is terrifying, you know, he's wearing his old shed skin as a fucking jacket. But it is kind of funny as well, you know, if you think about it. He is a lizard wearing his own skin. But he's also, I don't know, maybe it's just the flowing white. Maybe that's just what does it for me. It's very God of War-esque, so I gotta give him some credit there. Mega Magina. It's none of the other, it's kind of scary. There. Mega Drampa. I'd say Mega Drampa is probably here. So like it's the same as Golurk. Like it's not outwardly sort of majestic. It is mostly scary. But there's something about it that sort of makes it feel pretty good. And it is kind of funny. You know, he got young again. I don't know. I just like it. Phalanx. I think Phalanx has to be here. Or here. Maybe it's with Excadrill. No, because it's funnier than Excadrill. No, it's funnier than these two. Okay, so on Hilarious, it's essentially like here in Hilarious. But is it equals part terrifying? No. I'd say it's like here, probably. Like it would be here. But it is also, I don't know, that formation is beautiful. So I'm going to put them here. No, because that would indicate that it's scarier than Pyroar. No, because Pyroar looks ridiculous, which is why it's scary. It's going to go here. It's going to go there. I think that's a nice place. Mega Crabominable. Mostly terrifying. But also, it's got a little something going on. Like Barbaracle, you know. It's scarily majestic. Like, you look at it and you're like, oh, fuck. Those droids from Star Wars that roll into a ball. It's mostly scary, but it's also kind of funny. Megazera Aura. I don't want to say it's anything, because I hate it so much. I guess it's on the scarier side, but there's some sort of, you know, wispiness to it. Mega Tatsugiri. There's literally it's just hilarious. He's going with Slowbro. There you go. Or Disco Villain. Mega Baxcalibur. Now that is, it's mostly terrifying, but the sword is funny. The sword is very funny. Mega Glamora. I'd say Mega Glamora is probably about here, you know? It's equal parts scary and funny, but it's mostly, again, I think it's just the symmetry. I think it's the symmetry and the color choice makes it quite on the majesty side. It's like, it's kind of scary, but in the case of like non-humanoid things are scary, like aliens. It's the reason aliens are scary, or things that have sentient thought but do not stand on two, are not bipedal. And it's funny because I don't know why the fuck did Glamora get a Mega Evolution. Mega Ampharos. It's mostly hilarious, but it's also quite majestic. That hair, white flowing hair, that's the fucking one. Mega Clefable. I'd say that's mostly majesty, but it's still quite funny. The eye, it's big. I like it. It's fun. I don't hate it. The Mega Charizards. Maybe it's just my bias, but I think it's got some majesticness to it. I like the. Is it majestic? Yeah, I'm gonna say it's majestic. I'm gonna say it's got some there. It's not that scary. You're much scarier, but you do still have something going on. So you're going right in between Metagross and Scolipede. Ooh, Mega Dragonite. It's such a cute creature. I'm actually going to put that it's not terrifying. I mean, obviously, based on height and context of Dragonite, yes, it's probably quite terrifying. But it's so cute. It's hilarious. No, it's just so cute. I think it's cuter than Diancie. Fuck you guys. Already did Gengar. Okay, so who we got left? We've got these guys. Right. Already did Kangaskhan. Yeah, Mega Mewtwo's done them. Aerodactyli. He's got a big old rocky beard. I mean, he is scary, but he's got a big old rocky beard. Mega Alakazam. I'm going to say here. I'm going to say, yeah, it's mostly funny. You know, he's got 5 spoons. Ha ha ha. But I'm going to say it's mostly funny. But there's some sort of fear over that wise old man look he's got going on. You know, he's quite terrifying. I mean, he is a wizard, essentially. But there is also something quite sort of glorious about him that helps me sort of skew him to the right a bit as well. Or did Houndoom, or did Meganium, or did Scizor, Mega Tyranitar. I'm gonna put him right there. No, he's going with Metagross. I think they're sort of pretty equal in that sense. Ooh, you can't fucking break down the wall. He's mostly terrifying, but I'll say he is kind of funny as well. He's funnier than Gyarados. I'm going to say that he's funnier than Gyarados. Mega Bayonet, you know what, that's quite sort of like... I think that's with Barbaracle. I think Barbaracle, Crabominable, and Bayonet have the same sort of terrifying majesty to them. I think that. I'm fairly confident about that anyway. This is Mega Latias. There's not really anything funny or majestic about them. I think they look clunkier than they normally do. So I guess they're just... No, are they terrifying? Okay, here we're gonna create a new one. This is the exceptions corner, where exceptions to the rule go. And hence, Latios and Latias go over here, because they are none of these things. It's okay. Not everyone can fit in like the rest. It just isn't the case. But that's whatever. I don't mind. Mega Mawile. I think, same as Baxcalibur, ultimately it is scary. Like if you saw it, you'd be scared. But it's kind of funny in context. Medicham, already did that. Why is Meowstic on here twice? Why the fuck is Meowstic on here twice? Oh well. Medicham done, Metagross done, Rayquaza. That's gotta be in the middle, right? No, I'm not suggesting Zeraora is scarier than it. But I think it's equal parts 50-50. I'm gonna say it's more terrifying than Majestic. But it is both. It is definitely both. Okay, Mega Garchomp Z, or Z if you're everywhere. Is it majestic? No. Is it hilarious? A little. Is it terrifying? Mostly. There it goes. Regular Mega Garchomp. I think his nose is kind of funny, but he is a lot of scary. So he's going there. Okay, we'll do Mega Lucario regular. Yeah, I'd say mostly terrifying. But it's got something going on. Mega Lucario Z. It's not terrifying. It looks fucking funny. It looks ridiculous. It's going up here. It's going with Scoville, and that's what I think of him. Staraptor, already done. Abomasnow, already done. Meowstic. Yeah, why is there 2 Meowsticks? Why did I put 2 of them in here? Steelix, Slowbro, Glalie. It's funny. It's funny. It's going with these guys. It's going with the funny gang. Right here. It just is. Mega Sceptile. I'd say Mega Sceptile is a lot of scary. Quite a bit of funny though, because old Christmas tree. But it's got something going on it just gives it that lends it credence, you know? Right, and we're left with these 2. I just need to find them in my fucking thing. Where are they? See, there's the other Mega Meowstic. Get off screen. Okay, so I need Greninja and Floette. Okay, Mega Floette. So, Mega Floette, I'd say it's mostly Majesty. I'd say there's a lot of like, I mean, it's a flower. I mean, you know, it's with Meganium. There you go. They're friends now. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain myself on that one. I just feel like that's where it would go. You know? Nothing much else I can say about it. Okay, so let's quickly find... Where the fuck is Greninja here? Fable... Mega Greninja. Where the fuck is... No, wait, what the fuck? Okay, cut this out. I can't find Greninja. I found him. Mega Greninja. I'm gonna put Mega Greninja with Alakazam. Right below Alakazam and just above Lopunny. It's mostly funny. He's flying upside down on a fucking spinning shuriken. But, you know, he is also a ninja. It's kind of scary. And we're going to put him slightly left, because there's not a lot of majesty there, but there's something. Right. Okay, so that is everyone. You'll see that for Megas, there's a lot of terrifying ones. There's a lot of funny ones as well, though. I think they're funny anyway. Like, they could technically be just terrifying. Depends on your definition. So this is my list. I don't know, obviously, if you all agree. You'll notice that majestic and hilarious, there's not really that much, because when they are majestic, they tend to be more serious, which is why the terrifying ones can be sort of majestic, because they are serious, and why the terrifying ones can be hilarious, because they are obviously scary, but they're also kind of funny. This is far less common, it turns out, and which is why even like the split down the middle, there's a large portion over here and not as much over here. But that's my list. Hope you all agree. Oh, and there's also these two anomalies. Hope you all agree. Actually, I don't hope you all agree. In fact, if you don't agree with any of these, pick one of these in particular. Actually, any of these that you don't agree with, put them in the comments. Explain why you don't like them. I want to know. Like, you know, do you think Scrafty is just funny as fuck to look at? Do you think Excadrill is secretly the scariest one of them all? You know? How do you feel about it? Let me know. The only one I will not abide is anyone saying that Beedrill is anything but terrifying. That's a fucking fact. So, oh, and also Slowbro is just hilarious. But yeah, no. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you in whatever the fuck else I do next. Probably a fight. Actually, Mega Meganium's fight is coming out tomorrow, depending on when I release this. It's coming out on the 6th. So, watch that shit. Yeah!